Together Collectibles here for an action figure review. Today we are looking at the 2021 MAFEX number 131 X-Men Gambit. He comes in a standard square MAFEX box. It is all pinkish purple in color. On the side is a product shot of Gambit using his huge energy playing card effect. On the back, it shows some of the posing possibilities with this figure. On the other side is Gambit holding his staff, which is energy charge on both ends. Just some warnings and legal stuff at the bottom in different languages. For some packaging size comparison, here it is beside the Target exclusive Hasbro Marvel Legends Retro Gambit. The retro card box is much bigger. In general, the Hasbro style of packaging makes it a challenge to ship it in mint condition because it is oddly shaped. It can easily be dented on flaps or on the ends of the box. Here it is beside the Caliban Way Marvel Legends Gambit. I prefer a normal shape packaging like MAFEX, which is a square compared to the Marvel Legends. Unboxing the action figure, simply open the top up or the bottom of the box. There is nothing else inside. The figure and its accessories are firmly held inside with a top plastic cover. Compared to Marvel Select, there is no wires. Compared to Marvel Legends, the figure is not squeezed in between tight plastic because tight plastic does cause dents in the figures over time. Here we have the energy charge 3 cards effect and a tape plastic bag which contains the figure stand and blast stand. As you can see, the figure stand has several pieces which you need to assemble. Removing the top plastic cover, here we have the huge overcharged blast effect and the more smooth sleek blast effects. Here we have the figure, so you can simply just remove him. He's not snuck in the plastic. The swivel points of the figure has soft plastic snuck in between to prevent faint removal or scratching. At first I struggled to figure out how to remove the plastic in between the swivel joints. I think I saw in other reviews where they pull apart the figure. I don't want to risk damaging such an expensive action figure. Similar to how you put your towel in a towel rack, you simply remove it by sliding or simply pulling it from one end and it will just slide along, as you can see. So just simply slide it along. Here we have the figure up close. How MAFEX designed and sculpted figures is more of the comic book like rather than the real life. We have a metallic paint in his chest which is sculpted in great detail, and he have a black bottom with sculpted metallic pink sculpted rectangles. His knee-high boots are well sculpted as well. At the bottom we have the trademark. He has a soft good coat which is wired in all edges. This allows full articulation of the figure. For this character, this is better than the soft mold plastic capes or jacket or coats that Marvel Legends give because it prevents articulation. In comics, his coat flows when he jumps. It is easy to shape according to how you want the coat to move to one direction or another. He comes with an alternate head, and you can see, like the first head, he has red eyes and a barely shaved beard. His hair has a black wash and is flowy on several sides, and he has a small peg hole which fits a small ball peg, as you can see here. He comes with 6 pairs of alternate hands, including the closed fist hands here. He comes with a single card throwing hand, as you can see here. You can simply put the single heart in between the 2 fingers. He has a pair of cards which is powered up. You can attach it to one of his hands here. It's pretty soft, so it's easy to attach, as you can see. Here we have an open palm grab hands, a pair of them. Simply attach it to the pegs on his arms. Next, we have the staff holding hands. The problem I have with Marvel Legends and Marvel Select is when you keep on sliding weapons on hands like this, the paint on the hands or the weapon chip off. So for this one, I try to carefully slide it in, but it seems to be okay. I don't see any paint chipping off. At the bottom of each staff, you can put this powered up effect. So simply peg it in. There's a hole in the power up effects, as you can see here. So it looks good. It's a different take on how he uses his power on the staff. Next, we have here the stand. So you just assemble it, pegging in each part hole. The base has 3 holes, which gives you flexibility on where you want to put the stand. The claw on the stand doesn't have a spring like the Marvel Legends or the Mesco one. It's a bit soft in terms of how it opens and closes, so it does prevent the figure from getting damaged. It is strong enough to carry Gambit with the power effects as well. Sometimes the power effect does swing because it's really heavy. So let's try the heavier version of the power effect. Let's peg it in to one of his hands and attach it again. I usually use the staff to help carry the power effect. He has a pair of card throwing hands, as if he's throwing all the deck. And here is a similar hand, but this time with a peg for the power effect pieces. They're exactly the same, but with a peg. The problem with this power effect hand is it's really heavy, and here's one possibility that you can pose it vertically. To help with this, MAFEX provided a stand for the power effect. Here we have the short one with the V shape, wherein you can put the power effect in the middle of the V. There is an alternate V-shaped holder, which is a little bit taller, and it can give like a dynamic angle to how he throws the card, or bring it up a little bit higher above his belt. In terms of height, Gambit stands 16 centimeters or 6.3 inches. It is pretty much close to how he stands in the comics at 6'2". Here are some Marvel Legends size comparison, beginning with Wolverine and Cyclops, Jubilee and Shriek, Age of Apocalypse, Magneto and Rogue. Here he is besides the Marvel Legends Retro Gambit. A quick side-by-side comparison showing how they have similar colors. Here he is besides Marvel Select Sabretooth 7-inch scale and the Marvel Legends Retro Spider-Man. Here he is besides the Marvel Select Juggernaut and Colossus. Here he is besides other 7-inch scale figures Rogue and Gambit Marvel Select. Comparing the Marvel Select Gambit with the MAFEX one, you can see some similarities in terms of their accessories. Here we have the card throwing effects of the Marvel Select Gambit, which you can peg into his hands, and the other hand holds it. In terms of the MAFEX Gambit, you cannot simply just peg in on the open palm hands the card effect. I'm simply trying to look for a way that you can do it. you can put the hole on the card effect in one of his fingers and do some balance to somewhat be similar to the Marvel Select Gambit. Here we can use the effect of the Marvel Select Gambit, but the mold of his palm is different. So you can push in one of the fingers to hold the card effect, as you can see. In terms of trying to hold stuff, you can see the Marvel Select Gambit struggles to hold things firmly. So compared to the Marvel MAFEX, you can see which hand is actually for the holding. So this one can firmly hold the staff and the card. Just need to slide it a bit and you can see that it can actually hold it properly. Not firmly, but it can hold it. As for the MAFEX Gambit, you can use one of these alternate hands so that you can put in between the flaming card. You can see how it fits okay. And in terms of size, it's not that bad, given that it's a 7-inch scale accessory. In terms of the staffs, you can simply pull out and get the silver staff from the Marvel Select and put it in the MAFEX Gambit without any problems. There's no paint chipping. A surprising thing is the silver staff from Marvel Select is actually shorter than the MAFEX one. It is surprising because it's a 7-inch scaled silver staff. In terms of articulation, his head can look up. Though the coat can hinder it, you can simply shape it down. So you can look up, look down, and move from side to side easily, and with a great range as well because of how it is designed. His arms can extend that far. The coat prevents him from doing a full 360. He has a bicep swivel. He has double jointed elbows. He has a wrist swivel, and with a great range, he can hinge in several directions, not in a single direction. So you can see that with the ball, it can hinge. He can crunch that much forward and crunch back that far as well. He has a waist swivel, but I don't try to twist it because his belt does prevent it from twisting completely because of how the belt is molded. He can do a split. He has double jointed knees. In terms of his upper thigh swivel, it's actually inside there there's a swivel. His feet can hinge forward and back. He has an ankle rocker with great range, and he can kick that far to the back as well. It is a well articulated gambit. Removing the coat, you can articulate well his arms. It has some kind of a butterfly joint. This mimics a butterfly joint, and you can do the full 360 with his arms now. And his shoulder can drop down, which gives a great range in terms of his arm movement. The hand with effect for the 3-card throwing blast effect is not that strong. It broke as the translucent peg is a separate piece which is glued on the hand. Be careful in handling this alternate hand. I understand why the peg is not molded into the hand because it is of different color and plastic. It is translucent. I believe they should have molded it into the hand and colored it pink just like the blast effect. You won't use this hands anyway without the blast effect, so no need to make it translucent. This is the best comic book design Gambit action figure out there. Best in terms of articulation as well. The soft goods coat allows dynamic poses similar to the comic book where he jumps and his coat flows like a cape. The price for this figure is expensive at 105 USD. since it is considered an import from Japan. That is like 5 regular Marvel Legends figures, almost a full wave. I was hesitant to purchase MAFEX figures because it is expensive and their earlier figures had bad reviews. There is a principle in Japan called Kaizen, which means continuous improvement. I believe this figure demonstrates the big improvement MAFEX has done. If we trust Japanese cars like Mazda, Toyota, and Honda in terms of qualities over China-made cars, can't we do the same for action figures? If you are a big Gambit or X-Men fan, you should try getting these X-Men MAFEX figures, rather than buying reused and repainted Hasbro Marvel Legend figures. This figure fits well with your 6-inch scale X-Men collection. Thank you for watching. I hope you can share this video to your friends if you find this helpful. Please like, subscribe, comment, and ring the notification bell.